Hey Orange family, and welcome to day 67 of your at-home workouts. So who's ready for our latest Orange Tones Red workout? You are? Good. In that case, what we've got coming up is an upper body strength program. It's going to be helping you build that strength and that pushing, that pulling, that lifting that you do on a daily basis. Also today, we're going to be looking to get that heart rate response. We're looking to build that strength in our heart by taking you from our base right the way through into our all out. Remember to join us at 10 a.m. today for a Coach Live workout with Coach Charlie. If not, if you can't make that, that's okay. We've got a YouTube channel that you can go and tune into, and you can tune into this workout or all of our previous workouts. So, who's ready to turn our orange into red? You? See you soon.
Welcome to another edition of Orangetheory at Home Goes Red. Orangetheory has collaborated with the American Heart Association to bring you an upper body strength training workout today. Now, why is upper body strength so important? Well, think about all of the daily movements we do where we're pushing items or we're hinging over and we're pulling items to pick them up. We want to make sure that we have a strong upper body so that we avoid injury. And just like it sounds, strength training is also going to give you that strong heart. So every good workout is going to start with a dynamic warm-up. We've got 5 exercises, 5 minutes. That means 1 minute apiece. This one is going to start with a back extension to lat pull. So just like John's laying down flat on that belly, you're going to extend through those arms, lift that chest off the ground, squeeze those elbows together, extend those arms out again, and then come back down. We're working through this range of motion for 1 minute. From here, we're going to take it to our tabletop position. So that means shoulders are stacked directly over your wrists, and just like John is, threading the needle. So reaching one arm underneath the opposite, 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on the other. From here, come into that standing position. We got to keep warming up those shoulders for the work you're about to do. Big arm circles to the front. Smile on your face, just like John's doing, because we love to get warmed up. 30 seconds to the front, and then 30 seconds to the back. Our next exercise is our star reach. So from here, same position, and you're reaching the opposite hand to the opposite toe. Send those hips back and keep that core nice and tight. After your minute here, we'll finish up with our alternating toy soldier. Chest is nice and proud, just like you see those soldiers, and then 1 foot at a time, you're gonna raise it up towards those fingertips, keeping those arms out and straight. And then from there, it's time to get to work.
Hey team, I'm Coach David, this is Coach Barb. Welcome to block number 1 of today's workout. We're going to be talking about how to break up a push-up into 3 manageable components to hit those prime movers of the upper body. Total block time is 6 minutes. You're going to be seeing 3 different exercises, 1 minute on each for 2 total rounds. You will need a mat or towel and some light to medium weights. Coach Barb is going to start off with a high plank for our first exercise. Getting into that set position, making sure that she has a straight line from her wrists all the way up to her shoulders, core engaged, glute squeeze, making sure to keep that belly nice and tight. As an option, you can bring the knees down if you wish. Our next exercise on today's block is going to be an iso bridge with a chest press. So Barb is going to lay face up, making sure that her head, neck, shoulders are supported, driving through the heels, keeping those glutes nice and tight as she squeezes, and then pressing the weights right above her chest, back down and reset. And as an option here, you can lighten the weights if you need to. And then our last exercise on this block. Coach Barb is going to go into a hip hinge, hammer curl to a low row. So first step is to hinge at the hips, making sure that lower back is nice and flat, straight line from head to the hips. From here, arms are fully extended as Barb curls those weights up and then goes right into the low row, making sure to squeeze between the shoulder blades. As an option, you can go a little bit lighter with the weights. That looks great, Barb. Awesome, team. Now let's get to work on your first block today.
Hi team, Coach Barb here. Let's get ready for block 2. This is gonna be your cardio block. We're gonna work through 6 minutes of 3 rounds, okay? We're gonna start with a 30-second push, 30-second base, and then we're gonna hit that 30-second all out and earn that 30-second recovery. Now remember, these cardio intervals, this is what's gonna drive that heart rate up, get that heart stronger, and you might get a couple splat points. So I've got Coach Franck here. We're gonna start, your first push exercise and effort is gonna be a speed skater to a triple high knee. So you're gonna explode to the left or right. As soon as you pull that heel in, you're gonna count that as one of your high knees and then finish with 2 more. Going backwards and forwards, you're gonna hit that for 30 seconds. Then we're gonna move into base. All right, this is gonna be our low impact jumping jack. So we're gonna take all the impact out. You're gonna have that active recovery. Opening up the arms, stepping out side to side. And then last, we're gonna go all out. We're gonna find that chair or any kind of high incline. The higher the incline, the safer it's going to be and a little less impactful. Make sure that your shoulders are stacked over the wrists and you're driving those knees into the chest, keeping those hips down. Remember, an option is you can pull the knees in a little bit slower and reduce that impact. All right, team, it's time. You've got 6 minutes, 3 rounds, get those splat points and drive that heart rate up.
Okay, everybody, welcome to block number 3 of today's workout. We're gonna be focusing on upper body. It's 8 total minutes where you are going to need 1 medium weight, 1 heavy weight, 4 exercises, 2 total rounds. Coach John here is gonna show us our first exercise, which will be a hip hinge single arm low row. We're gonna make it a little bit more difficult though, adding in some tempo work. As John hinges at the hips, nice flat lower back from head to tailbone, pulling quickly but releasing slowly with that weight. As an option, you can go a little bit lighter. Next exercise, we're gonna be going into an overhead tricep extension. Make sure you stand tall, keeping the core engaged. Elbows are gonna stay tight and narrow together, preventing them from flaring out. Fully extending that object overhead and then letting those elbows come back down. Again, with the option, you can go a little bit lighter with the weight. Our third exercise is gonna be a little bit more explosive as we work in a half thruster with a neutral grip. So standing set position, get those weights right at the shoulders, sit back into that squat halfway, heavy on the heels, and then explosively press up as you stand. Option, go a little bit lighter with the weight. And then our last exercise, we're gonna be going into a front raise to a lateral raise. So again, just make sure that posture is nice and tall, shoulders back and down, and then making sure you stop at shoulder height every time you get to that front raise or that lateral raise. Option, you can go a little bit lighter with the weights. All right, great, John. Now let's get to work, everybody.
Time for our flexibility block, one of the most important blocks of your workout. We're going to be working for 4 minutes, 5 stretches, and we're going to hold each stretch for about 20 seconds. Now, flexibility is super important. It's going to help increase your mobility, decrease your risk for injury, and even elevate your mood. Our very first stretch, you're going to notice that Barb has a towel, and this will help increase your range of motion. So holding on to that towel, we'll start with our overhead reach. Nice standing position, feet are shoulder width apart, still keeping that core nice and tight as we reach overhead, relaxing those shoulders down away from those ears. Big deep breaths here. After about 2 to 3, we're going to stay in that same position and simply take it into a side bend. So reaching over to one side, again, holding that stretch for 2 to 3 big deep breaths. As you come back up, nice big inhale and then exhale, and we'll head on over to that other side. So 20 seconds on each side. Before we take it into that third stretch, why don't you go ahead and turn to the side. We're gonna work through that reverse shoulder stretch. So we're gonna grab a hold of that towel again, roll those shoulders down and back, and then from here, start to lift that towel away from your lower back. Now, Barb has crazy range of motion here, so this is where you really need to listen to your body, make sure you're using good form, and go to the point where you can stretch. Don't try to overdo it. Next, a tricep stretch. So taking one hand overhead, you want to have your thumbs pointing towards each other. So your top hand, thumb is facing down, bottom hand, thumb is facing up. The closer that your hands are together, the more you're going to increase that stretch. So go to your range of motion. 20 seconds on one side, 20 seconds on the other side. Your last stretch, you can go ahead and set that towel down. We're going to stretch out those wrists, extend one arm right in front of that shoulder. Fingertips are facing the ceiling, hold there for 10 seconds, and then you're gonna flip it down towards the floor, holding there for 10 seconds. So 20 seconds on one arm, and then 20 seconds on the other side. Take your time as you work throughout these stretches. You earned it.
I'm done doing what everyone tells me. I gotta learn a thing or two on my own, and I'm done doing what everyone tells me. So if you